Hello everybody and welcome back to Starowies. So we are just putting some wheat in the ground here, so we're going to get this field drilled today. I would also like to look at getting some rollers, and the canola field, we've got a lot of weeds in there, which I have had a brief spell of trying to use the weeder that we started off with when you first load into New Farmer on here, and it only takes a few of the weeds out. It does leave some, so I've been onto Mod Hub and I'm hopefully found a cheap hoe, which I think if we sell the weeder we can buy that instead, and that should do the job that we want it to. And we also want to look at, I don't know whether I've said it already, but we also want to look at getting some rollers where there is a nice cheap set that we can buy. If I just put this onto cruise control on that line, hopefully that'll keep us going somewhat straight. So the hoe is this. So 12 mile an hour working speed, 6.2 meters, but we're missing a bit, 6.2 meter working width, so we should get through fairly quickly doing that. I am trying to avoid spraying as much as possible. We do obviously have the sprayer there if need be, but that's a much cheaper alternative, although I reckon 2,000 litres of herbicide would last us a fairly long time. I wonder whether it's completely missed that little strip or not. So the minimap says we have drilled it, but I think we will just go over it to make it look as neat as possible. And then once this is done, we can look at buying the weeder. We also have field. Let me just finish this little bit off. Like that. We also have field 60, which that needs to be, well, it needs lime on it first, so that's another job to do. And then I may leave that, and that could be, we could maybe just look at doing something like a sorghum crop, because we now have canola, barley and wheat all drilled. And we'll try and get this, well, we may just leave this here for the time being, and we'll go and find the Fendt, which I don't think should be too, oh, I've already put the lime spreader on. Well, we'll get this field limed, and we'll gather the weeder up, take that back to the store, and we will go buy the new hoe. And here we have it. Let's put that into there. I need to remember where the trigger is. I'm going to say it's over here. So let's repaint very quickly. Let's sell. It's the 5,000 back for that. Let's get on to here. Let's get this boat design. Well, we might as well. Trailer bog. I think we've got a trailer bog. Let's buy this. So that our weed is paid for about half of that, and we will now go put this on and we can weed our canola field. Field is now got its covering of lime on it, and this canola field in 2 short seconds, oh no, I missed a bit there, that's no good, and then this canola field will be fully de-weeded. So I'm trying to make sure we get the best yield possible. I think the only other thing I could have done is mulch, and I know I missed rolling on it, but we didn't have the rollers at the time, which we're now going to go and rectify that. So rollers, this is the one I want to go for, 5.2, which I did look at these, but that's 5.8 for more than double the money, so I don't see the point in that. And then we only really get a benefit if we go to 12.5, which, now I'm looking at it, I'm tempted. 12 miles an hour, 100 horsepower. What's this one? 9 miles. Okay, that's sorted it. We're going to go for this one. Fenders. Does it need them? £500. Wheel setup. Wide tyres. Standard. Okay, we're going to go standard. I'm going for the fenders, but, well, the mudguards. But I'm not going to change the wheels. So we're going to buy that. And then we can get over there we'll take this back to the yard and we'll go over there in the Volvo. Look at them. They look really, really good. And hopefully we should get through our work fairly quickly. What I should have done when we had the Fendt here with the front loader on, I should have brought that part pallet of seed back with us. But it doesn't matter, we can get it at another point. And look, with the rollers being red and us orange, we're not too far off a colour match here. But so the field that we just drilled with wheat, we're going to, with wheat, we're now going to go there, we're going to roll that. I also want to see, the field we did with barley, did we do it in this month? I can't quite remember. I think we may have done. So if we go to growth, I may be able to roll 56 as well, which that will only mean that it's only the canola field that hasn't been rolled. Apologies to my neighbouring farmer, but he's cut his grass, so I don't think he'll mind too much me just driving in it. Must bring that header trailer back. I think I say that every time I go past it. That's a lovely set of rolls. And what's even nicer is you can drop it down as and when you want to. It's not like others where they're just permanently down all the time. But we will now we'll get this rolled, we'll get the next field rolled, and then we'll have a look at what else there is to do. I want to get some alfalfa in somewhere. I just haven't decided which field will be the alfalfa field. And we also need to start doing a bit of tree work, because our production, the firewood production, that is now completely out of, well, not completely out, there's a little dribble left in it, but that's now completely out of wood as far as production wise goes. So we need to start getting that filled back up again, whilst also giving us extra space to expand our fields. With this roller, let's do a sharp turn, let's straighten up, gives you a bit of tail flick. I didn't do it that time, but it's been making me laugh during that time lapse, seeing my rollers flying around the corner like power steering, or drifting I should say. But that's brilliant, a nice quick job to get this done. And I must say, have you seen Precision Farming has been announced? I think it's May the 8th that's coming out. And one of the big things that I was excited about when reading is your tram lines. Apparently, we can do something like that. So with it being so imminently coming out, I'm thinking I'm definitely downloading it, but I may implement it onto my Oakbridge Farms Let's Play. I think that's the perfect sort of map for it for us at the moment, because we've got all the bigger, sort of newer and modern machinery, where it makes sense to get that sort of thing put on to help generate better yields and more income, although we don't seem to be struggling too much for cash on that series. But right, let's leave this. We really need we need more space and more storage, but I'll just leave that here for now. that was a very, very good buy. I know that is for certain, because I think the base game one, the smallest one, it's about 40 odd thousand for 12 and a bit meters. So that we're getting a lot more. Well, we're getting a lot more width. Well, less width, but a lot less money. So it makes perfect financial sense. Right, we're going to put this on, put our drill back on, and I need to find which field, because we've got 4 fields to do. I would like to put an alfalfa crop in, which I think we'll do that field 15. Field 1 is going to be sugar beet, because we've got the harvester there, and then it just depends what I'm going to do with 16 and 45. I think oats in one of them and sorghum in the other. That's my sort of thinking, because I'm also thinking about straw, because having that little roll-up baler, I think it'd be very beneficial for us. But let's just flick through long grain, oilseed, grass, peas, spinach, soybeans, alfalfa. We're going to have to get some fertiliser first. So we're fully loaded with seed and fertiliser now. We're on alfalfa, and one thing that has become very apparent is we cannot get through the gate. Oops, sorry fella. We cannot get through these gates. You can see my wheelings there going straight over the gate to get in. So yeah, so I don't know whether it may be worth us selling our fencing, and we can always put some new fencing in, or what. I'm not 100% sure what to do. It's that, or the seed drill just will never be able to come into our farmyard, and we'll have to build a shed outside for it to go in, or outside of the boundary, which is it's annoying, because I do like the fence. I think it's very in keeping with the map itself, and it's not something that I really want to be getting shot of, but it may just have to be one of those things. If not, we can. Oh, I forgot to lower the drill then. Oh, that's a bit silly. But there has been some on Mod Hub. There's been some. I always try and put all my mods into whichever save game I'm playing, regardless. But these would have been lovely to put these in, and we could have done the big one. And better yet, you can plough, subsoil, which will give you a plough state at the front. But with that being 100 horsepower and that being 150, I don't know whether you need 250 to be able to pull both of them. But I'm hoping this shouldn't be too big a job. And the only other way around it would be to get the trailer, you can get the hitch so that you can tow this behind on the roads without overhanging. But it just seems a bit of a farce that every time you use it, especially with these smaller fields, that you'll then have to go fold it all up again to put it, just to be able to move it to the next one, or get it into the farmyard. Well, hopefully 2 more passes after this. Then we'll have to get the roller in, get this rolled, and then we will have to see where to go. I do want to get some of the trees down, which we need to see. Do we have? I know I'm flicking a lot between menus at the minute, but if we just do this last little bit, get this last little bit, lift up, and we'll get back onto our land over here. Do we have a log fork? So front loader, tools. So where is it? Yes, we do. Right, I can't remember where that is. So we've left it up here. Which it's the first time recording since it's currently a Saturday today. But it's the first time recording since last week. I do all my recordings. Well, I try to do 4 a week, as you're probably saying, and I do try to do all my recordings in blocks so that I can then spend the rest of the week focusing on my main job, but also on family. So a lot of these I try to do either early morning or late at night to spend as much time with everyone else, so they don't take over too much of the time that I get to spend with them. But right, I'm hoping we don't need the weight on the back, but we're going to leave that there. We're going to go get, I dropped our, just behind the combine there in the wood next to the pond, that's where I dropped our seed drill, which we may have to come back to in this episode, I don't know. But we're going to take this over here, and then I need to work out what the perfect length. I think I'm going to drop all of these and try and get them all loaded up onto our trailer. But let's get our chainsaw. So we go for this big one first. I don't particularly want to be driving too much into our canola field. So if we cut this off here, I need to remind myself of what we were set to. We'll get rid of the stump, which if we had the money, I would buy ourselves a stump grinder. So what are we on here? 4 meters. 5 meters, 6 meters. Do you reckon 6 meters would fit into that trailer? Let's cut one off, and then we can have a go and see. I think that's the best thing to do. It's just, oh, we did land in the field slightly. Oh, there's some branches there. Come on. I don't find this as easy as FS22. That used to be a lot easier to take your branches off. Or snedging as it's called. Is that one there? I'm sure I've missed there's one under the ground. So let's cut this here. Get that cut. Where's the fence? Let's go pick it up and we'll see whether this is the right length or not, because we can always drop it down. But I just want to make maximum use of the trailer that we do have. Fair dues, it's a logging trailer, so it's not the most beneficial. So there, let's close the grab up. Oh, that's gone a bit sideways. Well, there's a wedge there as well that we need to either get rid of or... Ooh. Okay, this is one of the jobs where it's always a lot easier in time lapse, but because considering I'm going to hit my tractor again, this is oh, we're not going too well here, are we? I've hit the tractor again. Am I going to hit the trailer? No. Okay, that's one positive out of all that. So now let's open up our grab. So that is the perfect length for trailer. So whilst we're here, we'll just strap it on so we don't lose it. Strap that on, and then we will get this into a little time lapse, and hopefully we'll get a lot of these down and done. Two little bits, we'll pick this up. I don't know whether these are worth anything or not, but it's all timber to go for firewood. Well, we won't even need to process those two bits, they're already cut. But so we get to the firewood processor, but we need to I want to also look at, there is a nice chipper that we can get which is fairly cheap. So I want to see when wood chips are the best, and then that would be a good reason for us to get it, and then we can load a trailer or two up full of wood chips, because it just attaches onto the back of the tractor, and then you can attach your trailer straight onto it afterwards. So that to me makes quite a lot of sense. But let's leave this here, go put this in. I don't know how many litres, we should have a few thousand litres. We're full? No? Got loads of wrong. Why aren't these selling? Are they just out of the trigger? Let's reverse this back a little bit and we can get it a bit closer and see if we can get this as much into here as possible, because that's now opened up that bit of land for us where we can now get the plough on and plough it. So is the trigger... No, that's getting us into there. No. There we go. Brilliant. So we have 9,300. Well, a lot less now. That's going down rapid. Won't be long. We'll have our first load of logs ready to sell. But I don't know whether it's probably best to stockpile them or just to sell them as and when they come. But let's put this round the corner, because I think we'll try look at... Well, we need to roll the alfalfa, so whilst we're here and the rolls are there, we'll get that rolled. And then we may go pick up the plough and just plough that little bit, leave the track for now, but then once we harvest the canola field, we can then plough the track in and then make that into one. Well, it'll certainly be our biggest field, especially when we're ploughing field 60, which I think is next door to it. Once we get that ploughed into it as well, it will be a fair sized field. Tractor to make this just to make our lives that little bit easier. Not the greatest way to plough at all. Well, abysmal, to be honest with you, was that attempt at ploughing. But I don't know whether it's just the Volvo, whether it's the plough or whether it's the Volvo trying to get through the ploughing is what it struggles with the most, especially with this ground deformation, which I do think is brilliant. We'll just tidy this edge off. But I do know that I missed that again? It's these shrubs I'm trying to get rid of here. In typical me fashion, there may be a change of plan, because this bit, as I'm looking at it, I mentioned earlier about having a shed or something outside the yard, especially for the likes of our cedar. And this place here just seems to be the perfect sort of size patch to put a nice little shed on. I'm missing that. Come on, I will get you out, you little shrub. Right, that's that one gone, and then I think I missed one back here. So we may just do this as a production, but if I plough it, at least if I then do have another change of heart, I know it's ready to go for when the canola field's done. So it gives me plenty of options as to what I would like to try and do. Right, we've got that. Turn create field off. And then yeah, so it could be quite a nice little place. You know, the little productions that you get base game. You could put one of them here, could put a shed here, because that's still going to be a fairly big field once you add in field 60. And we could even look to how much is 61? So that's only 14,500. So we could even look to buy that and then combine all these together to have a nice block in here. And then we could put a nice little shed in here and a production. Because we've also got 103. Once we get these trees cleared, we could also start building something over there. In the meantime, I think that could be us done for today. It's been a fairly productive episode. The Volvo's needs a wash, that is for sure. But I would just like to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.